In an explosive moment that left live viewers stunned, Oscar-winning actress Kate Winslet made a rare and scathing commentary about Meghan Markle during a King's Foundation live chat. What was supposed to be a charitable discussion on the arts and education took a dramatic turn when Winslet, known for her poise and diplomacy, unexpectedly broke her silence on what she called a disturbing pattern of manipulation and self-promotion, allegedly perpetuated by the Duchess of Sussex. The revelation, delivered calmly but sharply, has sent waves through social media and reignited public scrutiny around Meghan's controversial public image. Winslet, who has long remained silent amid years of royal drama, shocked the audience when she subtly segued into a discussion about authenticity and integrity in public life. There's a difference between advocating for real change and hijacking causes for personal branding, she said, staring intently at the screen. When asked to elaborate, she paused briefly before adding, "It's hard to ignore how some people package compassion while orchestrating control behind the scenes. I've seen it firsthand, especially during that podcast fiasco." It was a pointed jab, unmistakably referring to Meghan Markle's now-defunct Spotify podcast Archetypes, which was quietly pulled after just one season despite a multi-million-dollar deal. Winslet described being approached for an episode but ultimately walking away after what she called a red flag experience. According to Winslet, the production was less about storytelling and more about image engineering. The entire conversation was scripted to the point of fiction. "They wanted sound bites, not truth," she explained. "I was encouraged to speak on topics I hadn't lived through, and when I suggested pivoting to a more authentic discussion, the room went cold. It was clear they weren't looking for depth, just drama." This candid moment aligns disturbingly well with previous criticisms surrounding Meghan's podcast and public projects, critiques often dismissed by her defenders as media bias. Yet Winslet's reputation as a grounded, non-political figure has added considerable weight to the accusations. Her comments appear to validate earlier industry whispers that Meghan's team pushed narratives over nuance, particularly when recruiting high-profile voices for her brand-driven initiatives. Further stoking the flames, Winslet hinted at deeper ethical concerns surrounding the King's Foundation itself, suggesting that some recent affiliations, widely believed to be subtle references to Meghan's involvement in various royal charities before her departure from official duties, were more self-serving than philanthropic. "I've spent decades involved in charities where the mission comes first, but lately, I've seen spaces where the cause is secondary to someone's agenda. It's alarming when empathy becomes a currency to gain influence," Winslet said. This wasn't just celebrity gossip, it was a direct challenge to the media-crafted persona Meghan Markle has cultivated since stepping down as a senior royal. Winslet's commentary has emboldened others in the industry, with anonymous insiders now coming forward to echo similar concerns. One former Spotify executive, speaking under condition of anonymity, told a UK-based outlet this week that working with Meghan felt more like managing a brand campaign than creating meaningful content. Perhaps most damning is the growing public sentiment that these revelations are not isolated. Winslet's bombshell appears to have shattered the unspoken code of silence that often protects celebrity reputations, especially those involving the royal family. Online forums, independent journalists, and even seasoned commentators have begun compiling similar stories that challenge the prevailing image of Meghan as a misunderstood humanitarian. Media strategist and royal analyst, Dr. Penelope Harrington, weighed in on the fallout. "Kate Winslet's words carry credibility because she's not known for clout chasing. She's measured and avoids controversy, so for her to speak like this, and so specifically, suggests she encountered something deeply troubling." It's also worth noting that this isn't the first time questions have been raised about Meghan's use of public platforms. From accusations of scripting interviews to reportedly ghosting staff and collaborators, a consistent thread is beginning to emerge, one that starkly contrasts with the grace and sincerity often associated with other royal figures, including Princess Catherine and even Prince Harry before the couple's departure from royal duties. Now, with Winslet's spontaneous truth-telling igniting fresh interest, the curtain appears to be pulling back. What was once speculation now feels dangerously close to confirmation. Meghan Markle may not be the misunderstood victim of palace politics, but rather a calculating figure in pursuit of fame and control, often at the expense of those she claims to support. In an age of performative activism and curated reality, Kate Winslet's candid statements remind us of a crucial truth. Authenticity doesn't need a spotlight, it stands tall in silence until provoked. And when it finally speaks, as it did at the King's Foundation live chat, the world listens and questions everything. The fallout was immediate. Social media platforms exploded with clips and quotes from Winslet's remarks, while hashtags like Winslet Unfiltered and Meghan Exposed trended within hours. For many, it was a wake-up call not from tabloids or gossip outlets, but from a revered artist with nothing to gain from controversy. Winslet's statements have now prompted a re-examination of the carefully curated Markle narrative, one that's long leaned on victimhood while allegedly disguising calculated ambition. Behind the scenes, whispers are growing louder. Several charities and public figures reportedly reassessing ties to Meghan's ventures have done so quietly, yet deliberately. Even former staff members who once signed NDAs are rumored to be consulting legal teams, exploring ways to share their own truths in light of Winslet's bravery. As trust erodes, so does the illusion. What was once dismissed as royal tabloid fodder is now emerging as a pattern, one of self-interest wrapped in philanthropy, influence cloaked as empathy. And thanks to a single, unscripted moment from a respected voice, the public is beginning to see the difference. Kate Winslet didn't just speak, she shattered a silence. And in doing so, exposed a truth that can no longer be ignored.